we have in studio from the Claremont Growers Collective, which is exciting, Gail McWilliam Jellie. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you popping in. So you're a board member of the, is it board member or board of director? Probably same.
Yes, I'm a member of the board of directors.
Okay. Of the Claremont Growers Collective, which you guys have the new printed
buyer's
guide out, which is phenomenal. You brought one in for me. This is awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of information in there.
Yeah. So now the Claremont Growers Collective, how long have you been a part of it? And what is the mantra? What is the whole process of it?
Yeah. I joined in 2022 when I work for UNH Extension in Sullivan County, and that's when I started in the position that I'm in, and connecting with some local farmers. I was invited to be part of this at that point. But the organization started in 2021.
Oh, okay.
And it was formed by a group of folks who were interested in local food, growers and some gardeners and just general folks who are generally interested in supporting local food production. And so they got together, and the whole concept of the program is to sort of revitalize the food system, make people more aware of locally produced foods, try to improve access for people, make it easy for people to know what food businesses were available and how to find them. Okay.
And there's more here than I think many realize of different options of food.
Yeah. The buyer's guide focuses on food in general. So it's farms, but it's also food manufacturers, people who are taking, raw ingredients and making some food product, and food retailers of some sort, local farm stands and farmers markets, but also retailers who are carrying local food products.
Nice. And what I didn't realize, I was looking through the printing, which was done by the Eagle Times, and I do want to talk about that for a second. But the Claremont Growers Collective isn't just of Claremont, which I did not know.
Yeah, that's right. The name is a little bit confusing, but that's where the effort started, was in Claremont, and branched out basically in a 15 to 20 mile radius from Claremont. So it encompasses all of Sullivan County and some of the Vermont border towns. So it's a pretty broad membership.
Now, to be a member, what do you have to do? How do you become a member?
To be a member, you have to produce something locally within that area that I just mentioned, or you have to make something that utilizes items that are produced in that area, or sell items that are produced in that area. And that's all there is.
Is there a membership fee or application?
There's an application so that you can tell us what it is that you do and how you do it, and make sure that you have all your licensing and all that kind of stuff. There's no membership fee at this point.
Oh, nice. So if somebody has a bakery, does the flour have to be locally sourced, or does it just have to be baked here locally?
Well, we recognize that some items are not easy to find here because, we just don't have that climate.
Right. We don't have sugar cane.
Correct. But say the baker uses locally grown blueberries to make blueberry muffins, or, things like that, or local milk or local cheese. Anything that's made within that area would be appropriate for them to use.
Excellent. So now, this Buy Local guide that the Eagle Times put together, how did the partnership with the Claremont Growers Collective and the Eagle Times come to be?
The Eagle Times was interested in the efforts of the Claremont Growers Collective. They'd seen some of the events and things that the collective had been involved with, and so they approached our board with an offer to create this with us. It was a sales opportunity for them.
Sure, their business.
But it was a great opportunity for the Growers Collective to really get a lot of detailed information out there and promote the members. And so that's how it started. And the Eagle Times did a lot of the writing of the content and the interviews. But we helped guide our members to, we let members know about the opportunity and encourage them to participate. Photos were sourced from our members, and so it truly was a partnership.
And it's huge. Like, this is a very big publication.
Yeah, it started out to be something that was going to be smaller. And it's 40 pages.
Is it 40? I was just about to look. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, was this a supplement in the paper?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yep. And then we also had some extra copies printed. So we have not a lot, but we have some extra copies that we're trying to make available to our members for those that have an outlet where they can distribute them, and for folks that are, promoting local events.
There's a lot to this. Like, there's a ton of reading that you brought in a copy, and it's absolutely fantastic. So if somebody didn't get their publication in their actual subscription, there's a PDF, which you and I were talking about off there. You can just go online and download it, correct?
It's on the website for the Claremont Growers Collective.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy. If you get to that, if you just Google Claremont Growers Collective, the homepage has a button right there that says Buyer's Guide. So you push that. And it's a PDF. It's not as nice as having something in your hands, but it's all the information is exactly the same. It's right there.
Yeah. And you can see there's a map of where everybody is, which is incredible. It's 69 different locations within the region. This is incredible. It's really a great publication.
Well, I'm glad you like it. The printed map is, it's handy for sure. But actually, one of the benefits of the website is that there's an interactive map there. So you can go to that's part of the website anyway, is the member map. So you can go to the website, pull up the member map, and then you can actually search by product if you're looking for a product, or if you know the name of the business, a region. You can do a pretty advanced search and find what you're looking for there.
Do you find a lot of people are interested in eating locally sourced foods?
Yeah, I think the interest, there's always been interest in local products, from a certain faction of people. But I think the pandemic really drove people to look for local food and local products and support local businesses.
Well, I keep falling back on eggs, because eggs was just such top-of-mind awareness for so many different people. And what was shocking to me is locally sourced eggs ended up, in many cases, being cheaper than going to the grocery store.
Yeah, you have to remember that the grocery store has shipping, excuse me, from a distance typically. So those costs are a little bit different.
Yeah, exactly.
And the whole thing, the egg shortage is about something different. It's about the avian flu and the loss of bird populations and so forth that have contributed to lower production of eggs. But the local eggs are available, and they're readily available.
Is the bird flu still a thing, or is that?
It's still something that is being watched.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Now, what's your role with UNH Cooperative Extension?
I'm part-time, and I work as a program assistant in the agriculture program.
Okay.
So I provide technical assistance to farms in Sullivan County that as much as I can, and connect them with resources that they might need. And I worked with new farmers and just about anything to do with agriculture.
Do farmers reach out to you, or do you kind of find them, or is it a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah. Referrals. I've worked in New Hampshire and in the industry for close to 40 years in general, previous careers. And so I know a lot of the people in Sullivan County and around the state as well.
And this is obviously with your work with farmers, and here in the county, the Claremont Growers Collective is just a no-brainer for you. Like, you definitely should be a part of it.
Oh, well, it seemed like that.
Yeah.
Yes. It's been a great group to be part of. It's not just farms, like I said, but it's the food. It's food in general.
Yes.
But actually, we also have non-edible businesses that are promoting local products too in the directory, like flowers and plants and things like that. That is definitely a big part of the agricultural industry, and so we wanted to support those guys as well.
Sure, that makes sense as well. So the book itself, or I guess it's not technically a book.
Well, it's
like a book.
It's a booklet.
It's a booklet. It's 40 pages.
Yeah.
One thing I did like, and when I was thumbing through this with you, I was like, oh, that's really handy. This peak of harvest guide at the back. So this is basically when I'm supposed to plant or not plant, or when I'm supposed to get everything.
That lets you know when things are basically available.
Okay.
So if you're looking for strawberries, you'll see that they're starting to be available now, but they're only available for a few weeks.
Right.
Or if you're looking for raspberries, it's not quite ready yet. And you can see on that guide approximately when raspberries start to be ready. Mm-hmm. So it just gives you an idea of when you could expect to find things at the farmers markets or the farms, because we have a limited production season and things aren't available all year round.
Right. For the most part, everything kind of lines up around the same time.
Yeah.
Celery, corn, cucumbers, eggplants, all in the same thing. Salad greens all the time.
Yeah, and folks can grow some of that stuff in a greenhouse.
Yeah.
So that adds to that availability on a year-round basis.
Yeah, beans, asparagus.
But the peak of production season for New Hampshire is probably starting in July through September. That's when most things are available at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's super handy. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And that's good for consumers, so I know, all right. Oh, I can get some cucumbers, or onions are ready now.
Exactly.
When are peas ready? Oh, not yet. What is ready right now? What are we in, June? So rhubarb and strawberries, asparagus.
Yeah, you can find some lettuce greens now too.
Yeah.
And, it's been a strange year so far as the rain and people being able to get things planted. So things might be delayed a little bit.
What are you hearing? How are farms holding up with all this rain?
It's early.
Right.
Hopefully this doesn't continue. But if things let up a little bit, I think that it's going to be fine. But you just never know until you get into it.
Yeah. It should be a good hay season. They're already haying.
Hay season haying has been delayed a little bit by the weather this year too, and planting corn and things like that. But hopefully we'll get caught up and get back on track.
I know we haven't put anything in our garden yet because we don't know when. Is it going to be too soggy or what?
Well, that's once the late rain lets up, then you got to wait for things to dry out a little bit.
Right. It's always it's a question. I never know.
Well, if you can plant, if the soil is not too soggy, like if you pick up a ball of soil and it crumbles, then you can probably plant. But if it's still sticking together like a solid wet ball, then you're going to have to wait a little bit.
Yeah. And I think we're past the snow season.
I think we are safely past the snow season, yes. For a few months.
Yeah, absolutely. Gail, is there anything else you'd like to get on about this?
Again, we have limited printed copies of this, so the easiest way to grab a copy right now is to go online and just go to the Claremont Growers Collective website, and there's a button right on the homepage for you to access the guide and see all the other information, the interactive map and so forth on the website.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful, and thanks again to Eagle Times for putting this together. I think they did a great job.
Yeah, they did do a great job. We're very happy.
Yeah, and thank you for your work and for being able to pop in this morning.
Oh, it was great. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Claremont Growers Collective, just find them online. You can check out the publication. Again, the Eagle Times put this out, and it is great. It's the new Buy Local Guide.